Everybody, welcome to Limited iRacing Series. Tonight we are headed to Five Flag Speedway. It's the second round of the playoffs out of 3. Next week they go to Charlotte. This week they're on the short track of Five Flag Speedway. We've got about 15 people in the race tonight, about 15 minutes before the race starts here. So far, the points, obviously, Kaiser with winning last week. He will be the points leader for the playoffs so far. If he can continue his hot streak of winning throughout the rest of the playoffs, he will become the playoff champion. But there are several drivers in the field tonight who will be looking to knock him off of that top spot and put themselves in contention for winning the championship. Tyler Holden is one of them. Braden Goddard is in here tonight. He's going to try to make up some ground after missing last week's race. Cryer is here. I think Henning is part of the group as well, and I want to say Jeffrey Johnson as well. So you got about 4 to 6 drivers that will be playoff contenders. Brad Herman is here tonight. He has not been here for a little while, ever since he had the dominating run that he had, where he led every single lap from the start of the race. See if he can continue that into tonight's playoff race. I believe that Cryer did the same thing 2 weeks after Herman did it. So that's 2 drivers back-to-back tonight that have not been in the field against each other. Going to be really fun to watch them, along with all the playoff drivers that are in here trying to continue their streak towards next week at Charlotte. Kaiser, if he can pull off the second win tonight out of the playoffs, it should put him in a pretty comfortable lead going into Charlotte that is pretty much going to be just a put your foot to the floor and hope to hold on and stay in the draft style race. These late models being on those bigger tracks like that, all you'd have to do is just, shove that pedal as hard as you can through the floor and just hope to stay in the draft bumper to bumper. If you lose the draft, you're pretty much done for the night unless a caution comes out. Last week they only had, I believe, 4 cautions. So hoping to continue that trend tonight. Like I said, about 14, 15 drivers so far on the field, and we will get to the race here. They got about 1 minute and 10 seconds left in practice, and then they have about a 10-minute qualifying session. I'm going to try to grab a couple drivers real quick and just do some quick interviewing as we go through the playoffs. So I'm going to grab Brad Herman first. Brad, you got a copy? This is Swats in the booth.
I got a copy, Swats.
What's going on, Brad? You are back. We haven't seen you in a few weeks. You're brought out tonight for Five Flag Speedway, going for that $75 payout. How you feeling for tonight?
I'm feeling good. Been busy lately, doing other things, so I haven't really been able to be able to race with these guys, but I'm happy I get to be here for the big money. So hopefully we can take it away.
Now, are you part of the playoffs since you did run 3 races and got, I believe, more than one win? So, did you make the playoff list?
I'm not positive. I got added at saying that I was in, but I don't know how far they're in and stuff like that. Like I said, I've been
This is only the
pretty busy
second race of the
lately,
playoffs, so.
I don't know. I think they do single cutoff races.
I
So I'm
gotcha.
not sure.
Well,
I
I
don't
will
think
ask
I
one of the
am.
drivers whenever I can pull them in and see who's in, who's not. But if you are in, we will be definitely rooting to see what you can pull off. I know the last several races you have been in here that you've pretty much led from the start of the race, or been right there in the top 3. So hopefully you can continue that streak tonight, and hopefully there's some guys out there that will be rooting for you out in the chat. I know you got a pretty good following out there, so hope to see some of those people out there and root you along. But
I sure
I'll send you back to that Discord chat that you were in with I believe Johnson, and wish you good luck.
All right, thanks, man. Have fun in the booth.
Yep. Braden, you got a copy. This is Swats.
I got you.
Hey, Braden. We are headed to Five Flag Speedway tonight, second race of the playoffs. You were not here for the first race of the playoffs. Are you still going to be able to be in points contention for the playoffs?
Yeah, because I didn't use my throwout race
Gotcha.
the regular season, so it came and helped me out.
Well, that's definitely a bonus to have that throwout race for the first place or first race of the playoffs. But going into the second race of the playoffs, how are you feeling about Five Flag Speedway?
Well, Five Flags, I'm actually kind of liking it. I've got a lot of competition though to deal with, so it's gonna be very hard getting into the round of 4.
Gotcha. Yeah, you got about 15 guys on track tonight. Cryer's back tonight. Brad Herman's back tonight. You, Holden, Kaiser, who won last week's first race of the playoffs. There's going to be several good drivers in the field tonight. So, how are you feeling on track as far as going to be able to start up front, or you just kind of hanging out in the back, or what are you planning for strategy-wise?
Yeah, we'll probably be starting towards the back.
Just not a happy camper when it comes to Five Flag Speedway, or you just is that strategy?
It's just the fact I don't have as much skill as everyone else does in this track.
Gotcha.
I didn't get a lot of practice in.
Well, we definitely wish you luck, and hopefully we'll see you at the end of the night in the top 3. And like I said, good luck.
Thank you.
All right, I'll send you back to where you were. Mr. Kaiser, you got a copy? This is Swats in the booth.
Yes, sir, I do.
What's going on? Just trying to see how you're feeling about tonight after last week's success, getting the victory. You looking to bring home another win in the second race of the playoffs this week, or how are you feeling about Five Flag Speedway?
I'm gonna definitely try. The only issue I think I'm gonna have is I gotta start in the back. So I'll definitely try and make my way forward. But I got some tough competition with Kendrick and Braxton and all those guys in here. So we'll see what I can do. Hopefully, I can just beat the top 8 and see what we can do from here.
Well, you definitely had a good race last week. I think you led pretty much from the second half of the race. Brought home the victory for the first race of playoffs. Now you're heading into the second race of playoffs. I believe you have the points lead, correct?
I do as of right now, but that
Okay.
might change after this race.
Well, if you can bring home a top 3 again, if you can continue that streak that you've had pretty much every race I've seen you in, you have been in the top 3, top 5. If you can bring it home in the top 3, that should help you out going into Charlotte next week. Pretty much kind of a super speedway when it comes to running late models on Charlotte Speedway. So you'll pretty much just put the foot to the floor and hope to stay in the draft. But if you can get that comfortable lead, that'll definitely help you for next week. So we definitely wish you luck, and hopefully we'll see you in the top 3 again.
Yeah, thank you. I definitely got a couple plans for today and next race, so we'll see if it goes good.
Gotcha. All right, I will send you back to where you were at. Which spot were you in? Were you in CSTR or were you in
I was in Dark Moon.
Dark Moon? Okay.
Yep.
All right, let me send you on back. And I see we have Kendrick in here. Kendrick, you got a copy?
Sure.
Hey, Kendrick. We have not seen you for about a week or so. You're back for the playoffs. Did you make playoff contention with that win that you had?
From what I hear, I did, but
Well,
I'm
that's
a little behind. I think I need a win tonight or finish ahead of the other championship guys, but I think might have a good shot at it. Pretty good qualifying effort. Hopefully we can get a win here tonight. That'd be pretty cool. Pretty good, or get a pretty good jump into next week.
well, yeah. The second race of the playoffs. It's Five Flag Speedway. Not a super difficult track, but it can be for some if they get into the gas a little early. But Charlotte next week. Are you gonna make it for Charlotte next week if you can pull off a win tonight, or even if you don't?
If I can pull off a win and stay in the playoffs, I will definitely invest and make the race. And even I'll still probably go for that 152. We'll see what we got.
Gotcha. Well, you got 75 up for grabs tonight, so we'll definitely hope to see you at the end of the race and see how dominant you can be tonight, as you were dominant last time when you got the victory.
Yep, I got you.
All right. Were you in Dark Moon as well with Kaiser?
Yeah,
All right.
Dark Moon.
Cool. I'll send you back down there. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right, and they are gridding up, so I'm going to jump to the national anthem real quick and get that done and give the big salute to the men and women out there for the red, white, and blue, and we'll be right back. All right, we are back. Brad Herman is now up into the top 3. So we had a small caution going on here. I just realized I was on mute talking this whole time, so I apologize for that. So the caution was brought out by Eli Lewis coming across the hood of the 66 of Cryer. That is the problem with getting sent to the back when you cause an incident early in the race. You have to now battle some of the guys who are not used to being up front, and Eli got a little loose coming off that corner, slid across the nose of Cryer, and Cryer had nowhere to go. Brings out the caution. Cryer, unfortunately, is going to end up with some nose damage, and Eli Lewis is going to come up with some door damage, as well as all the damage he has prior from flipping and rolling on his hood earlier. Back to the front, you got Braxton Deweese still up there. Aiden Kaiser, last week's winner, is in second. Brad Herman won multiple races in the regular season, did not attend all races, so I believe he's in the playoffs, but I don't see a red banner on his car. I'm not sure if he was given the okay or not to be in the playoffs because of that, but I know the standard was 3 races and 1 win or, playoffs points, but he definitely had wins and was here for 3 races, so I would think he would be in the playoffs. Kaiser looks, he thought about going down pit road, but swung it back out onto track right in front of the 85 of the Reese Peanut Butter Cup Brad Herman. 97 of Philip York is 4th. Joshua Siegfried is 5th. Tyler Holden 6th in that white and black car. Alexander Rowe in the 92 that spun earlier in that black and yellow car is sitting 8th. Chris Johnson in the 180 is 9th. Jeffrey Johnson is 10th. Brendan Carroll is 11th. Kendrick Cryer, who we talked about earlier as being a front runner, just was involved in that incident with Eli Lewis, is sitting 11th. Kyle Storm 13th. Eli Lewis 14th. And Steve Henning is 15th. Braxton Deweese gets a great jump coming out of turn 4. Gets a giant lead going into 1 and 2. That allows Brad Herman to try to get underneath Aiden Kaiser. These two battled it out pretty good throughout the season when they were both in the race. Brad Herman did have a race earlier in the season where he led every single lap from the drop of the green flag. Didn't think it was possible, but he definitely pulled it off. As you see him make the move on the 71 of Aiden Kaiser, he clears him going into turn 3 and 4 now. Braxton is the car to beat, though. Brad is going to have to set his sights on him and try to make up some ground as he's gotten to a 4.5 lead over Brad Herman currently. What Brad needs is several green flag laps just to try to make up some ground and try to get in front of this 15. Try to get separation. That's all they need. But the guys in the back are not really helping out with these cautions. Yotes, what's going on? Tristan, what's going on? Baby girl _ Lemke says good luck to number 12. Appreciate that. Tristan Bailey says fell in love with these cars over the weekend. How far are they into the season? I was muted. They are in the second race of the playoffs. Only 1 race to go. Next week's race at Charlotte is the final race of the season. I believe it is up for $150. Tonight's race is $75 for the winner. Brad won, I believe, 25 early in the race. My brother Shad also was in the season as well, and I believe he won 50. There's been a couple different drivers. I want to say Yotes was in here, Byron was in here. The other Brad was here, Brad Rivers. There's been several guys out here in the late model series that Tristan. Brad Herman has been the one that's been running the most races, though, and he's collected a few different paychecks out of here. But tonight is $75 at Five Flags Speedway, and next week's race at Charlotte, which will pretty much be a super speedway for late models, will be $150. Have another caution out on track. Let's jump and see if we can figure out what happened there. So it looks like Eli Lewis coming out of turn 4 gets up into the wall, goes two-wheeling, comes back down on, and that actually brought out the caution, which is kind of surprising. But he is already in the back of the field, so I think they're just going to give him an EOL and send him to the actual back of the field. Looks like a few of the front runners are coming down pit road. I see Aiden Kaiser coming down pit road right now. It looks like Cryer is coming back down pit road to try to get some more damage fixed. 12 of Siegfried is down. I don't see Brad Herman or Braxton, so both of them are still out on track. That would be 56 laps on those set of tires, along with Philip York, Alexander Rowe, and Chris Johnson, and Brendan Carroll, all sitting out on 56 lap old tires. We are almost halfway through this race at Five Flag Speedway. So far, it has been the Braxton Deweese show. He has led from the start of the race, has not given up position, and has had really good restarts on these cars tonight. Coming out of turn 4, he's pretty much gapped everybody going into turn 1 on the restart. So he's definitely got to figure it out. Some of these guys have to figure out that he's going a little bit earlier than most of the guys are probably anticipating. So he's getting a great jump on these guys on the inside line. I would definitely think Brad Herman would have the skill to maybe keep up with Braxton and figure out. He's been sitting behind him the last time, so we'll see if he can watch and kind of anticipate Braxton hitting the gas to get out of that corner. If he can stick to his side, or at least his back bumper, I think Brad's got a chance to get around him. Brad's been really fast. He's moved all the way through the field. He started third, fell all the way to 11th, and has now come all the way back up to second place. So definitely somebody to watch out for if I was Braxton. I feel like Brad is one of the faster drivers, along with Cryer and Kaiser and Alexander Rowe have all been really fast tonight. But Braxton has been the class of the field, being up front, started on the pole, and has not relinquished that lead the entire 57 laps now. If you are a fan of anybody out there on track, please let me know, and I will try to focus on that driver for a lap or two to see what their paint scheme looks like and to give you a look on where they're at on track. As of right now, top 5 is Braxton Deweese in first, Brad Herman second, Philip York third, Alexander Rowe fourth, and Chris Johnson fifth. Pace car's down on pit road, and Braxton gets a great jump again. The 25 of Philip York tries to get underneath the 85 of Brad Herman, but dives it in right in front of the 92. Has to let off the gas. The 92 gives him a little bit of a shove in the rear, but does not upset that car. Brad Herman stays right with him, and Aiden Kaiser goes around out of the top 5. It looks like he's going to slide on back. He might have got some bigger damage there. Let's jump and see exactly what happened to Kaiser. It looked like he got into the corner a little too hot and tried to get into the gas, and it just did not take it. That just causes calamity in the back. Tyler Holden, the 82 of Steve Henning, the 2 of Jeffrey Johnson, the 18 of, or the 12 of Joshua Siegfried, the 81 of Kyle Storm, the 38 of Brendan Goddard. Look like they're all involved in this one. So going to be a big wreck there. It's going to take out a few guys with a lot of damage, but they do have time to go into the pits and try to get some of that damage fixed. A lot of these late models, you can bump and bang on them, and they will still continue to go down the track. Kaiser won a race earlier with no front bumper, so and Brad Herman actually had the whole front bumper and the hood missing on one of his cars as he had rolled down the track on his hood and on his roof. And he wound up bringing it home second, I believe. So these cars are not very aerodynamic, especially on these short tracks. So losing a bumper is not a terrible idea. Well, it's not the best idea, but it's not a killer for the game or for the race. Appreciate all the gifts there, Vols fan. Appreciate all the gifts. I think that was like 1, 2, 3, I don't know how many that was. That was a lot of gifts. So definitely everybody out there, definitely thank Vols for giving out the gifts for the subs there. Definitely appreciate it. Always a guy you can count on to be out there in the chat and help you out. Stan says, thanks, Vols fan, for the sub. yeah, like I said, definitely appreciate and thank Vols for doing that. That was 7, so yeah, definitely a lot of gifts. It's Christmas time here in limited iRacing series. Vols is dumping a bunch of Christmas gifts for a lot of people, so if you're out there and you just got a gift sub from Vols, definitely thank him in chat, please. We are about to restart. Braxton gets a great restart in the box again. Brad has no choice but to just try to slip in behind the 15. The 25 is right behind Brad as they go into turn 1 and 2. 92 of Alexander Rowe has slipped into 4th. The 15 of Braxton Deweese, which is actually scored as the 8 on the standings card, if you see that. I'm talking about the 15, but these restarts, he's just getting such a good jump, and the rest of the guys are not anticipating it. There's nothing really that they can do because, I mean, he's the control of the control car. So if he decides to leave and if they don't have a rule on going in the restart box or you go wherever you want, he is definitely taking advantage of that. The second he even thinks about going, he is gone for the rest of the field on these restarts. And once he's gotten the lead, he pretty much has not it's not even close. The only time they're close to him is on the restarts. But we have another caution coming out. It looks like it's Eli Lewis going around in turn 3 and 4. We'll jump back to Eli Lewis, which is a playoff driver. Oh, and Kaiser went around too. So Eli went around first, which was right in front of the 50 or 81. And then Kaiser got moved, it looked like, by Braden. But Kaiser came back up track and made sure Braden got some damage from that. Kaiser's got to have a lot of damage now. He probably shouldn't have pitted when he did, but that's just kind of the poison of trying to pit off sequence from everybody else, and you get thrown to the back. Then everybody else is on old tires, and you're on new tires trying to make up ground, and it's just not an ideal situation. I've heard several broadcasters, one in particular, always call it a hornet's nest when you get involved in stuff like that, and he's definitely probably regretting pitting what he did. But it looks like the rest of the field did come down for tires that time. The leader, Braxton, second, Brad Herman, and third, Alexander Rowe, all decided to come down for pit road. Philip York did not. He stayed out. And Kendrick Cryer, who did come down 16 laps ago, is going to be the guy right behind, or starting on the outside of him. But I don't know how much the fresh tires are going to pay off. I think it was mostly fuel is what the guys were concerned about. I don't think it was tires. But Philip obviously thinks he's got enough fuel and tires. 55 laps to go in the race. I think he's kind of hoping that cautions keep flying and he can just save fuel and stay up front. But they were on a pretty good run there. I think that was like 15 laps before they had a caution. So if they have a couple more of those, I think he's going to be running short on fuel. All right, so pace car goes off. 25 gets a great jump again. Everybody's kind of taking advantage of that. No restart box, just go when you want. Kaiser, I think, just blew an engine, actually, it looked like. I'm pretty sure Kaiser just did as he is falling all the way down the field. He might have just got some more damage from that, but we have another caution coming out. And I think it's because Kaiser blew an engine. You'll see the puff of smoke right there. So that is the end of the race for Aiden Kaiser's last week's race winner, current points leader in the playoffs. That is going to be a huge deficit for him. He's going to be getting last place points this week, and he's going to have to come into Charlotte next week and really put on a show, really try to make up some ground as the rest of the field here. Fortunately for him, a lot of the drivers that are in the field were not here last week as well, so they didn't get points last week. So this is really going to just come down to the guys who did show up last week and the guys who did show up this week, even if they weren't a winner or in the top 3, they got good points in both of these races. They could come out on top, and that would be Chris Johnson, Steve Henning, who else was here last week? Brennan Carroll, Siegfried, and I think Holden was the other one. So if any of those guys can make up some ground and get some points, they could come away with the win here. It looks like teammates working together as the Johnson. It looks like Chris Johnson's given the 71 the repeat back end treatment to get him to his pit box. And he does successfully get to his pit box. And I guess they do have a fast pair. They must have threw that in there. Well, that's definitely going to be some help for Kaiser, as he's now going to come out with a fresh car, fresh tires. Yeah, I did not know that they had a fast repair. Normally they don't run a fast repair. That's definitely going to be a huge bonus for him. So that is our 11th caution tonight. 49 laps to go here at Five Flag Speedway in the limited iRacing series. This is their Outlaw series, part of the super late models that they run. This is, like I said, the second race of the playoffs in a 3-race playoff that they have. Your points, regular season points leader champion was Tyler Holden in that 20. So he's going to try to get some more points tonight. Unfortunately for him, he is 2 laps down. So your current leader is Philip York, scored as the 25 on the screen. It's 97 in the standings bar, but numbers don't really matter on the cars. All right, pace car is down. 25 is going to tighten those belts once more and go green in the restart box. Cryer does not get a good restart again. The 25 gets the jump. The 85 of Brad Herman is going to be on fresh tires, trying to make his way around the 38 of Braden Goddard. But we have another caution coming out on the track. It looks like it might have been on the restart. I'm not sure exactly who was that one. So on the restart, you see, all right, looks like a couple cars got just not going, and the 3 tried to stay off the back of somebody, and whoever was right behind him did not, unfortunately, stay off the back of the 3. I believe that is the 8, the leader, or the previous leader of, ooh, no, never mind, sorry, that was just the 3 spinning his tires. I thought maybe the 8 of Braxton DeWeese had gotten into the back of him because there was an accordion effect there, but the 3 just, he didn't go on the restart because everybody stalled up there, and when he did put the foot to the pedal, it just spun the tires. But let's re-rack them. That's going to be Philip York still in first, Kendrick Cryer second, Braden Goddard third, Brad Herman fourth, Alexander Rowe fifth, Steve Henning in sixth, Kyle Storm in seventh, Brennan Carroll eighth, Chris Johnson is ninth, and Joshua Siegfried is 10th. Braxton DeWeese, your leader for most of the first half of this race, is sitting now 11th. Eli Lewis 12th. Aiden Kaiser 13th. Tyler Holden 14th. And Jeffrey Johnson is 15th. 44 laps to go tonight at Five Flag Speedway. .45 laps to go, and the leader in the 25 white and blue car has not pitted in 82 laps run tonight. Everybody else in the field has pitted at least 15 laps ago. Philip York, like I said, I think they had 2 drivers early in the season that did run the entire race without pitting on fuel and tires. And it was the guys that were in first and second. They were just able to conserve fuel under cautions, and they were able just to hold off the leaders because it was so hard to make passes if you were not on that bottom line feeding around this track. And it looks like Philip is going to try that again. see Ethan Racer come across saying Jeffrey is done for tonight. That would be the 2 car that we saw early on. It shows him in pit road right now, so I guess he is done according to Ethan. Appreciate the update, Ethan. We're going to re-rack him, and the 25 of Philip York is going to get the restart again. Cryer is going to be a little bit better this time. He's going to stick to his bumper. Brad Herman tries to get in between Braden Goddard, but does not make it, and that causes Braden Goddard to get into the back of the 85, and it's going to bring out the next caution. And it's going to be a massive pile up in the back. You see the 38 go down. I don't think the 85 actually moved, now that I can see that. It doesn't look like the 85 actually moved down track at all. It looks like the 38 just slid up track a little bit. I would say Brad's probably angling down to try to get that inner line, but Braden did not give him any room on that one, and ended up with about 6 cars in the back of the field getting damage and getting caught up in this. But I believe Brad's going to be able to come down, get some damage fixed. I don't know who they're going to put that one on, if they're going to put it on Brad for trying to come down and take the spot, or if they're going to put it on Braden for not giving any room and getting into the back bumper of the 85, as he could have maybe let off the gas and allowed the 85 down. But it's playoff drivers trying to face off against guys who are in the playoffs and who are not, and there's no room being given. There's 38 laps to go. Get all you can get. .25 of Philip York still out front with Kendrick Cryer in second, Alexander Rowe third, Stephen Henning fourth, Chris Johnson fifth, Brennan Carroll sixth, Joshua Siegfried now up to seventh, Braden Goddard eighth, Brad Herman ninth, and Braxter DeWeese 10th. So it doesn't look like they're going to give a EWO penalty to Brad, as it looks like it was just a racing incident. Normally I see somebody getting it, but if it's not clear, I think they just leave it as a racing incident. If it is a clear dive in or real big bump, then they'll definitely give that penalty to that driver. Pace car is going to duck on off. We got 34 laps to go, or 37 laps to go. 25 of Philip York gets a great jump again. Cryer sticking with him a little bit better this time, but he is blinking. He has been giving a blinking penalty earlier on in the season, so hopefully they don't spot that blinking too much and shove him to the back, as that cost him a win early on in the season. The 92, oh, we have another caution coming out. It looks like it is this time the 82 of, I want to say Henning. Yeah, Steve Henning. Oh, I don't know what happened here. Looks like Brad in the 15 maybe got into it. So you can see they're 3 wide. Brad's on the inside, 8. Oh, he tries to get down to the line and just starts turning. The 82 gets into him. The 15 gets into him. There's really nothing the 85 can do at that point. Once he starts going around and he gets into the 82 as he clears him, which spins the 82 around. Brad was trying to fight back on that inside line, but just clipped the apron just a little bit and brought around the rear end. It was actually a pretty cool thing to see three-car racing, but just not enough room down there on the bottom. That is going to be our 14th caution of the night. 33 laps to go. Philip York still has not pitted. 93 laps into the race. He has not pitted. Everybody else has taken tires and fuel. Everybody else should be good on tires and fuel. I don't know if Philip York can make it on fuel. With these cautions, if he is got a shifter and he's able to put it in neutral and coast around, it's possible. Like I said, 2 drivers did accomplish that feat early on in the season. They did. It was the leader and second placeman that was able to just stick with each other, stick to the bottom. It's really hard to pass anywhere except for the bottom, and they were able to just coast around here on the cautions and got the victory. 25 is going to get a great restart again in the restart box. Cryer tries to stick with him. The 92 is going to shove it in there, try to give the bump, misses the back bumper, and Cryer is able to get away. He's stuck to the back bumper of the 25. You can see Cryer is kind of diamonding the corner a little bit more. He's kind of going in a little bit harder, slides up the track a little bit, gets off the gas, and then gets back into the gas. 92 gives a big shove to the 66 to Cryer. Cryer is able to keep the tires underneath him. Cryer is trying to get to the side of the 25 of Philip York, but he just cannot get to the side of him. Now he's going to try the outside line, try to get some momentum on the outside with the 25 having such older tires. But that's going to open the door for the 92 to get underneath the 66 of Cryer and maybe make a pass. Also, I've seen, as you just saw, almost with Cryer, he almost tagged that wall coming out of the turn. That's kind of the problem you have, is if you're not on that bottom line, down in the dip on the lower banking, if you come up that track and try to come off the corner, it kind of slingshots you right towards that outside wall. Oh, sorry, Jeff. I didn't realize your name on here was Ethan Racer 2. So, welcome to the chat, Jeff. Fortunately, sorry about you not making it through the rest of the race. I know you had some issues at the beginning there, but definitely some big power-ups there in the back. I'm assuming that's what you got caught up in and just weren't able to fix your car. Currently, though, Philip York still out in front. Alexander Rowe in the 92 has moved into second. Cryer and the 92 of Rowe did have some issues early on in the race as the 92 kept diving it underneath the 66 and sliding up into his door. Cryer did not take too kindly to that, and there was a little bit of an issue later on as it looked like the 92 got a little bit of a bump from the 66, but in his defense, it did look like netcode, so I don't know if the 66 really retaliated since the 92 was dooring him a lot, but it was definitely some netcode involved in that. Now you have the 92 and 66 working on each other and trying not to let this 25 of York get away from them. I see Brad Herman has moved back up to the field and is currently in 6th with Braxton DeWeese. Your leader for most of the first half of the race has moved back up into the top 5, and he is working on Joshua Siegfried right now in that 12 blue car. You see the 15 of Braxton currently underneath the 12 car and takes that position away from Siegfried. Now he's got to work on catching these top 3 with York, Rowe, and Cryer. Looks like Rowe's got a little bit of an edge underneath the 25. He's going to give him the door on the right rear, and he goes around. Now, if that is called a penalty for causing the incident, whoa. I don't think the 25 is too happy, but I think he took it out on the wrong guy there. He just dumped the 10, and I don't think he was too happy with Rowe, but the 10 didn't do anything there, so not exactly sure what happened with the 10 unless they just don't like each other, but it clearly looked like he just took out the 10. I don't know why, but Alexander Rowe should receive the EOL penalty if I'm not mistaken for causing that issue, as he definitely dove it in there deep and gave a little bit of a bump there to the 25 of Philip York. I got you, Ethan. Yeah, or Jeff. Yeah, dialing in those wheels is definitely a hard task sometimes. I know there's a few sites you can Google, and they will give you exact ratios and all kinds of stuff like that to help dial in specific wheels if you have one of their higher brands, like, you know, Thrustmaster, the G920s, Logitech stuff, or I guess if you have Fanatec's, but They definitely have some websites out there that will give you exact ratios for short track racing, normal, just everyday racing on all different styles, road course stuff, all that kind of stuff is out there. So it does not look like Alexander Rowe of the 92 is going to get the EOL penalty. Kind of shocked by that one because you could tell he definitely went into the corner and caught the left rear of the leader, which brought out that caution. But that is going to move Braxton DeWeese in that 15 up to second place. Joshua Siegfried up to third. Chris Johnson in the 18 on the outside second row is going to be fourth, and Brad Herman in that Reese's Peanut Butter Cup 85 is going to be scored in fifth position on the inside row. Kaiser, who had the broken engine early on, is back up into the top 7. He is currently sitting sixth on that outside third row. Kendrick Cryer is back up to the inside row in seventh in that fourth row, and the outside of that fourth row is Braden Goddard. '92 of Alexander Rowe has not made any friends, it seems. He's got multiple guys that he has kind of given the door to, so you see if any of these guys come back up to the field and get to him. I don't think that they will be as kind late in this race, as we have 15 laps to go. Braxton DeWeese is currently sitting second, trying to get back to the front as he led most of the majority of this first half of this race. I don't think he's going to be too kind to the 92 as well, as he got a bump early on in the race from the 92. The 12 of Siegfried is sitting third. Brad Herman dives it into the corner, almost makes contact with Siegfried, stays off of the bottom of his, or stays off the side of his car, but he's able to get underneath him again as Cryer is pushing the 85 around the corners, trying to get him to go by the 12 so they can both move up through the field. 85 is going to get underneath the 12 and almost clears him coming out of turn 2, and he does clear him for third position now. The 8 of Braxton gives the 92 just a little bit of a bump, and he turns him right into the rest of the field. And that is going to be our 16th caution of the night. 12 laps to go. Braxton DeWeese gave a little bit of a bump to Alexander Rowe. As I said earlier, Rowe did not make any friends coming through the field. He made a few enemies coming through the field by sliding underneath guys and giving them a little bit of a door shot in the corner, and actually dumped, I think, 2 of the guys for sure. But Braxton just repaid a little bit of that going into that corner. That's kind of the only way to get around this short track, it seems, is the bottom line is the preferred line. You can't make any ground on the outside or middle row or middle lane, so you kind of give them have to give them that bump and run. But some of the guys are giving the bump and runs not on the back bumper. They're giving it in the corner underneath in the door. So that's causing a lot of these incidents. The guys are being super aggressive. Some of these guys are playoff drivers. Some of them are not, just coming out for victories or trophies. But we'll see what happens here, as that is going to move Braxton DeWeese to first, Brad Herman second, Kendrick Cryer third, Aiden Kaiser fourth, Joshua Siegfried fifth. Braxton is back up front where he has been for the first half of this race. With 10 laps to go, he sees himself back out front with Brad Herman to his outside and Kendrick Cryer to his inside, or right behind him on the back bumper in his mirror. And then he will have, it looks like, Joshua Siegfried on the outside behind the 85 of Brad Herman. And Cryer will have Aiden Kaiser, last week's winner, who also had a blown engine about halfway through this race, is currently back up in the top 5 in that bright orange and blue 71 car. What's going on, Cape? These two drivers here just came from the back of the field. The 85 has had multiple incidents tonight, mostly not his doing. He's gotten turned twice, and he's gotten pit road twice, where he's had to go to the back of the field, and he has worked his way all the way back up in a second. The 15 of Braxton DeWeese goes on the restart box. The 85 tries to get a jump, tries to block the 66 from taking that inside line, but the 66 of Cryer is right there and does not give the 85 of Brad Herman an inch. The 85 is now trying to block the 71. The 85, ooh, he almost goes in there too hot. It is 7 laps to go at Super Late Models here at 5 Flags Speedway. And you have the 8 or 15 on the door of Braxton DeWeese out front as we have another caution. And this seems to be the 92 again. I think somebody needs to tell the 92 that that front bumper does not have a push guard on the front. Coming down to the end, we got 5 laps to go. Braxton DeWeese is now your leader. Aiden Kaiser is going to be scored second. Kendrick Cryer third. Brad Herman fourth in that 85 Reese's Peanut Butter Cup car. He was moved out of the top 3 and now sits fourth, but he's going to be on that outside row right behind Aiden Kaiser in that bright orange and blue. Those two have kind of battled it out several times throughout the season, but actually it looks like they swapped it up. Kendrick Cryer is going to be second, and that's where Brad Herman. Cryer was helping Herman through the field, so now we'll see if Herman can repay Cryer and push him to the front. Braxton has been super tough to get around tonight. Kaiser's not anybody to fool around with up there in the front. He is currently the points leader in the playoffs. This is the second race of the playoffs out of 3. Tonight's victor goes home with $75. So even if you're a playoff driver or not a playoff driver, you're still going to be fighting for that playoff win to get that $75. Next week's race at Charlotte Motor Speedway is going to be $150 to the winner. Braxton gets a great restart jump again. Kaiser's right underneath Cryer. I don't know if he's going to be able to hold off Cryer on the outside line. Brad Herman trying to get to the inside. Does not get there. Kaiser is going to fall in right behind Cryer as he's now going to set his sights on that 8 car. So sounds like we have another engine blowing up back there. Braden Goddard goes around. Another caution with 2 laps to go. That's going to be a green-white checkered coming out. I can't tell if they actually made contact. That actually kind of looked like netcode between the 2 cars. They might have made some contact. Might have had just a little bit of damage. All right, green-white fleckered, or green-white checkered is going to be the next step we got going on here. Trying not to be too obvious on who I'm rooting for, but I think I'm not even going to be able to pick that person because I think Kaiser's probably the one sitting in the best spot. I think Braxton is going to get that great restarts that he's been able to do all night from that front position. Cryer is going to be a little bit late on it as Braxton has just been out timing everybody on the restarts, which allows Kaiser to get the best jump because he's sitting behind Braxton. So as soon as he sees Braxton's car move, he can jump on it. And that's why he's been able to get underneath Cryer going into turn 1 and 2, but Cryer's been able to fight back in that middle lane. I don't know what Brad Herman will be able to do from that outside line sitting 4th. It's kind of a no man's land spot because you're depending on that outside line guy to get a great jump, and unfortunately the outside line is not getting a great jump. And as you can see, there we go again. The 8 gets an amazing jump. Cryer does get a good enough jump to get out in front of Kaiser, but Herman's not able to use any of that great jump. One lap to go as we come off of turn 2. Braxton DeWeese is your leader. Kendrick Cryer fighting for that spot, trying to get underneath him. He's going to give him a little bit of a tap. He's going to turn underneath him. I don't know who's going to make it back to the line. Oh, and I believe it's Cryer. I believe Cryer just got the victory on the last lap. we'll rewind it and go in slow-mo here. I'm pretty sure Cryer got it by just a tenth, or hundredths, actually. Yeah, Cryer got it. So Cryer got it by just the nose of the car. That is an incredible finish. Coming down to the last lap, Cryer goes home tonight with that $75 for the victory. Braxton DeWeese comes up just inches short after leading all of the first half of the race and then coming back towards the end of this race. Aiden Kaiser comes home third. Brad Herman unfortunately comes home fourth. He's not going to be in the top three, so we'll try to get the top three in the booth now and talk to these guys about this amazing finish. Give me just a second, and I will bring them all into the booth.
Chris is doing burnouts for top 5.
All right, we have the top three in the booth, and third place was Aiden Kaiser. Kaiser, are you there?
Yes, sir, I am.
All right, bud. I told you before the race you needed to finish in the top three to make sure that you helped yourself with the points going into next week to give yourself a little cushion. You did so. You are third place tonight. Did you have anything for Braxton and Kendrick, who were battling it out for first and second?
I think I did, but I was down on power, so I really couldn't do anything. So I I was just trying to drive it in as deep as I could with the most power I could, and somehow finished in third.
Gotcha. Were you able to do a fast repair or something earlier? I know you had like some sort of engine issue. It looked like you had a blown engine like halfway through one of those restart laps.
Yeah, that was actually my motor blew up, and I got pushed, and that was my final fast repair because I used fast repair on accident. I think it was the first time I pitted because I thought I had enough damage, but I should have saved it. But it's all good. I'm still glad I was able to finish third. Thank you, Chris, for pushing me when my car blew up, and congrats to Kendrick. He drives for me, of course, so he just made the final four, and just congrats on the win.
Well, that definitely helped you for next week. Gives you a little bit of a cushion with several guys not making it last week and then several guys not making it this week or not having good races this week as well. So that definitely helps you with next week. Now going into Charlotte, what's going to be your strategy? Is it just going to be paying attention to the points, or are you going to be aggressive and try to go get the win? It's basically just the track. You're going to put the pedal to the floor and hope to stay in the draft with these super late model cars. You know, what's your strategy there?
I have a plan, but I really don't want to say.
I gotcha. No secrets given. We got that. I understand that. So, definitely good luck in the rest of the playoffs. We'll look forward to see you next week at Charlotte Motor Speedway for the final race of the season, final race of the playoffs, and I believe it's $150 to the champion. So definitely good luck in that next week with the points buffer that you got this week. Any shout outs for you?
Yeah. I'd like to thank Star Nursery, my uncle Jason Allen for everything he does with the iRacing. My parents for Kaiser Upsets Racing. That's pretty much my parents. Dirk Thorn Racing, and just the Lord above, and my girlfriend.
Like I said, we always have to thank those women in our life for letting us do this stuff. So,
Yeah, it's actually her birthday tomorrow, so happy early birthday to her.
well, that's a good birthday gift then. But All right. Well, good luck next week, and we'll talk to you hopefully next week as the champion.
Thank you.
All right, so bringing it home second tonight was Braxton Deweese. You guys came to the line. I had to go back and double check it 3 times to see who actually came up because I wasn't sure if the standings were correct or not. But Kendrick Cryer got you by looks like 2 inches or just the very front bumper lip that got you coming to the line. I know that can't be satisfying knowing you led so many laps through the first half, got back to the lead after coming through the back of the field. And then leading coming off of turn 4, he gave you just a little bit of a tap to the bumper, moved you up track a little bit, was able to get underneath you. Did you think about turning it down on him, or were you just trying to put the pedal to the floor and hope the tires would carry you to the finish line?
I was really just trying to save the damn thing, to be honest with you. He gave me a pretty good shot. I went up. If it was anybody else, they probably would have wrecked and would have caused the whole field to wreck. But I kept it together. I know what I'm doing, so I made for a good finish there, I guess. But it is what it is. Led the most laps. Like you said, came from the back after pitting there, and it is what it is. Moving on next week.
Well, you definitely showed me something tonight for speed. You guys, you were definitely one of the faster cars. You, Cryer, Kaiser, Herman, and the 92. But the 92 kind of used his bumper as a push guard. It looked like most of the time, or at least the push guard on the side of his door. But yeah, you guys were definitely the faster guys on track. It made it very entertaining for me to be able to call it at the end of the race, and then to have to go back 3 times to see who actually won that race. I know in the car, I've been in that position. It's not fun. But, I mean, you brought it home second. This is, I believe, your first race because I don't remember seeing you in the field before, correct?
Yeah, that was my first start there.
I mean, to jump into this field with 1 race to go now at Charlotte, to come home second, I mean, I know it's not first, but, I mean, that's got to be a huge boost for you going into the next race. And then hopefully coming back for the next season. As fast as you were tonight, I definitely see you, Cryer, Kaiser, Herman, you guys all being big contenders next season if you guys are all here. But you guys are definitely fast, so definitely appreciate the show you guys put on. Like I said, I feel for you coming to the finish line there, but sometimes that inch is yours and sometimes the inch is theirs. You can always go to next week and try to find Kendrick on track. That's kind of the benefit of going on iRacing, but that tap definitely got you moved up the track. So, any shout outs for you?
Yeah, I have a lot of people to thank. I just want to thank the family and supporters for tuning in to watch and support me and tune in the chat and cheer me on. But I have some sponsors. I like to take them. You get all your diecast over there, World of Outlaws, Sprint Cars, Late Models, NASCAR diecast, IndyCar diecast. Whatever you need, he's got it there, 124th or 164 scale. I also want to thank Reaper Speed Lab, Jones Art Images, Jeff Schmidt Auto Group, Midwest World Fabrications, NASCAR Tech, DD Cinematography, and Blaze Designs for always making these beautiful paint schemes for me. I appreciate him and appreciate everybody that tunes in and cheers me on to Charlotte.
I'm sorry, what was that diecast website? You kind of skitzed out there for a second, right when you were saying whatever the website was.
The website's GP Diecast, so you can go there for any of your diecast needs that you'd want. It's www.gpdiecast.com. Get all your diecast needs there, whatever you like.
I definitely know a lot of viewers out there who pay attention to a lot of league racing and definitely buy a lot of diecast. So, yeah, definitely go out to gpdiecast.com and see what you can find out there. Sounds like he's got some good stuff, so definitely look into that. Appreciate you coming out tonight, Braxton. Great race, like I said. Unfortunately, you bring it home second, but it's got to be a huge boost going into next week. We'll see what you can do next week.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it.
Mr. Kendrick Cryer in the 66 blacked out car. You come home with the win tonight. You did give a little bit of a bump to Braxton there coming into turn 3 and 4. Were you worried he wasn't going to be able to hold on to it and come back down on you? You guys collided right as you came to the finish line. And like I told Braxton, I had to triple check that thing to see who came away with the victory. And just by like I said, the nose or the little bit of a flare out on the front bumper, stuck out just far enough for you to get that victory. If you'd have had some front end damage, I don't think you would have gotten the win on that one. But you bring it home first tonight.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. Can't thank mom and dad enough giving me this darn thing. It was pretty fun. Good racing with Braxton, Aiden, Brad, Eli, all the guys down there. Braden putting this league on. It was pretty fun. It was probably the cleanest bump I've done. I definitely mess up on that a lot, but it was definitely a confidence booster. No, actually knowing how to do it cleanly now, and I can put that towards the future. But it was pretty fun. Coming from the back after getting tires and about 3/4 of the way, but it was pretty fun.
Well, you were definitely up front a lot. You went to the back for one of those issues on track. I think you pitted and you started in the back, and then Eli spun out right in front of you and came across the nose of your car. I thought maybe that would be a hindrance for you, but these cars here, they can take a banging and keep on going. So you were able to make your way through the field with a couple more cautions, guys pitting, guys getting taken out. And then starting on the outside row, Braxton had just an incredible jump with the restarts every single time he was doing the restarts. But you were able to stick to his back bumper this time, and Kaiser and Herman were able to battle it out back there and just got to the side of Braxton there. But I believe this was, what, your third victory? Second, I think?
I think I won. No, did I win Bristol? Yes, I did. I won Bristol.
I think you won the
think
second to
this was my
last race?
I think I won. This is my second win, maybe third.
All right.
I can't keep track, but I just want to thank Tyler. He puts a lot of money into this league. He does a lot. It's pretty fun. It'll be pretty fun coming back to Charlotte. Definitely way different for these guys. I want to thank Kaiser Upsets Racing. Aiden, he bringing me along on a road, love boat, but think I'm Jacoby Waterproofing, Brewster's Lanes, Thirsty Beaver Bar and Grill, Logan's Heroes Bar, and it was pretty cool. Southern Aprons, Zolik Home Builders, Log Home Staining. A lot of guys helping me behind. A lot of guys behind me helping me out. And it'd be pretty fun to get back at Charlotte.
Well, you guys definitely go on and on with you guys' shout outs. It's almost like listening to a NASCAR driver going through all the logos on their fire suits. But, I mean, you definitely got people out there helping you. You definitely got to appreciate and thank them. For me, I got to appreciate all you guys out on track for putting on a show. Tyler, Braden, everybody that puts on this league, everybody that's invited me out to be the broadcaster. Really appreciate it. Really enjoy watching you guys go around track. You guys put on a lot of different viewpoints and a lot of different racing styles coming into this. Tonight's victory for you, like I said, that was an incredible thing to watch coming out of turn 4 to see who actually got it. I don't think I've ever rewound 3 times to try to figure out who got the win because I wasn't sure if the standings was correct or not because it was so close. But coming down that line, you got it by just a bumper. So congratulations on getting your second victory of the season. Second race of the playoffs. Next week is the last race of the season. $150 to the winner. $75 tonight. So you'll have to get in contact with Braden or Tyler, whoever it is that holds the money for that. But $75 is a pretty good winning for coming out for an hour.
That's a lot of money. And I was messing with Aiden tonight. I said I wasn't going to make it, and then I joined with like 10 minutes left, and he was like, oh, well, there goes my chances.
Wow.
It
You guys definitely battled it out there and definitely left it out or all out on the track. Hopefully next week it's going to be just as entertaining watching you guys run around Charlotte Motor Speedway. I'm kind of excited to see what these super late model cars can do on that track. Like I said before, I'm pretty sure it's just going to be a super speedway style race for you guys with trying to stay in the draft and putting that foot through the floor as much as you can. But definitely look forward to see what you guys can do next week. Definitely appreciate everybody out in the chat. A lot of different people out there rooting for different drivers, and the 7 subs from Vols fan who found a bunch of people in the chat and dropped a bunch of subscriptions for them. Definitely appreciate all that. Also, tune in about 5 minutes as I'm going to be jumping into another league race for Turn Down for What's truck race tonight at Dover. Should be a good race, so definitely tune in if you guys want to see some good racing with the trucks, and catch you guys next week at Charlotte.